The second question is this. Hi, Doug. Most manufacturers say LED bulbs are good for 30,000 hours. Can you help break this down for us? Well, if such a nail lamp were left on for 40 hours a week, that would mean that it would last for 14 years. This is not a realistic claim, considering how these are used. A major advantage of UV LEDs is that they degrade more slowly when you're comparing them to fluorescent type UV bulbs. Fluorescent bulbs begin to degrade really after 1 to 3 months, depending on their usage. Some low-quality bulbs lose much of their UV output after just a month of continued use. That's one reason why you should never buy inexpensive generic UV bulbs from the internet. Instead, only use the replacements recommended or specified by the UV gel manufacturer. I talked to several experts in the field who assure me that UV LEDs will likely emit a consistent amount of UV for at least 3 years, which is pretty darn good. That's about 12 times longer than what could be expected from even a high-quality fluorescent-style bulb when it's used constantly. Even so, considering the real-world use of nail lamps, you'll likely have to replace your LED-style UV nail lamp every 3 years. Of course, some nail lamps may last longer. Some will need replacing more often, depending on the usage time, the quality of the nail lamp, and how the nail lamp is treated in a salon. Now, in my opinion, it's misguided to talk about the lifetime of the diodes, or the LED bulbs. We should be talking about the lifetime of the nail lamp as a whole, since these diodes can't be replaced. Even so, that's not what will determine how often you'll need to replace your nail lamp. For example, the diodes, again, they're the UV emitting bulbs in the LED lamps. These can become contaminated with UV gel if the client touches them with their uncured nails. Once this occurs, the diode will not emit nearly as much UV. Well, when this happens with a fluorescent bulb, the fluorescent bulb can be turned over easily or can be easily replaced. Also, the lamp cord will likely wear out long before 14 years. These lamps aren't like toasters or microwaves. Appliances don't get put away in the drawer after use or have their cords wrapped around them every day, as nail professionals do, especially those with small nail tables. And mobile techs do this even more often. It isn't the cord that usually breaks. Breaks usually occur at the connector where the cord goes into the lamp unit. In fact, my experience tells me that electric cords are good on average for about 3 or 4 years, and by then, the outer housing of the lamp will begin to look pretty shabby, or maybe possibly become cracked. Also, electrical components that drive the LEDs can stop delivering enough UV power or stop working altogether. When this occurs, the nail lamp won't properly cure the UV gel. The electronic parts of the lamp are built to last for a long time, but cycling on or off for many years without failure is not very likely for most UV nail lamps. To my way of thinking, the industry marketers are far better off under-promising and over-delivering, not the other way around. When I was in Europe last month, many nail professionals told me that their heavily used LED UV nail lamps lasted for about 2 years, and they've already needed to replace them. I really doubt that the average user will need to replace their lamps every 2 years, but I don't think you can expect your lamp will last more than 5 years either, unless it sits on the shelf for much of the time. If you can get longer than 3 years, that's great. I'm only trying to give a realistic expectation based on my understanding about how nail professionals work. But if you think about it, even if you replace these lamps every 3 years, LEDs are still less expensive than fluorescent-style UV nail lamps. Those that use these fluorescent-style lamps need to replace their bulbs generally about 3 times a year. If your UV nail lamp contains 4 bulbs, that's 12 bulbs per year, or 36 bulbs in 3 years. At $14 a bulb, that would be about $500 just in bulbs. LEDs provide even more output, more consistent output of UV than fluorescent bulbs, and they'll do this for a much longer period. Even if you have to replace the LED lamp every 3 years, you're still saving money. Please, don't take my estimates wrong. I am not telling you to start using LED-style UV nail lamps because they're superior. They're only superior when they're used with a UV gel specifically designed for use with LED-style UV nail lamps. They should not be used with UV gels designed for use with fluorescent-style UV nail lamps. Use only the nail lamp that's specified by the manufacturer of the gel. Never use an LED nail lamp unless the gel manufacturer directs you to do so.